Come on! Unity is a web series filmed and edited by Emily Jansen as she lives in her vehicle, traveling the United States and documenting the many other types of alternative living, exposing audiences to the growing change in perspective and lifestyle for a common unity.
We came about in 2011, 5 couples. We founded ourselves really in the festival scene, Burning Man, and we came together with really the intent of raising our children together and choosing our neighbors. And so the Emerald Village is our community. We are technically EVO, the Emerald Village organization. My husband and I, when we talk about our community, we really say that it's the children raising this community. We have a very centered system that really is about how is it that we can raise our children in a way that gives them the opportunity to connect more deeply with nature and see them kind of running around. Yeah, so that's it in a nutshell. We attempted a number of different decision-making processes. We were introduced to the concept of sociocracy by way of Diana Leaf Christian, a governance system that really supports how it is that we interact with each other and kind of the values that are really important in any successful community. How it is that we make decisions. So imagine if there's all these just little pods of community members. Each one of these pods is responsible for a particular aspect of the community. So for myself, I'm the land guardian. And for our land circle, we have to always make sure that anything it is that we do supports that larger vision. But we get to make decisions on the spot. As long as we fall beneath the domain and aims that our larger community has set forth. And that's just a small piece of sociocracy. But I find the beautiful part of that, especially as a permaculture practitioner, is that decision-making process favors progress. Living in community, we have to live in the we consciousness. It's not just you. You really have to invest your time, your energy, and your vision in something that supports the whole, not just the individual. Another growth edge or like a challenge in living in community, and it's really not so much like a challenge, but it's an opportunity, has to do with how we raise our children. In the community, there are 4 couples who all have children, who all have different cultures, different backgrounds, different ways of communicating. And so having to come together as parents and saying this is okay, this is not tolerated. We've created a system and kind of like a values around raising children. And that took a very long time for us to create, and not only create, but also see that they're absolutely necessary. I think that what we're honing in on is really a beautiful way of people from different spaces to really define what's important in raising our children. For a person coming into a community that, say, is already existing, I honestly say that it takes about 6 months for they to truly understand the inner workings of the community as a whole. Because the community is this dynamic thing. You're having to deal with the social aspects. How do you get along with 20 people? We also have a tendency when people first come into the community that they just want to jump in there and they want to we call it helium hand, where they're just like, I'll do everything, without really taking a step back and saying, yes, I can do that, but does it really work with my flow? Is it something that I'm inspired to do? And more importantly, the longer that a person is here, they start to see the deficiencies in our community, and perhaps the areas in our community that we are deficient, they have a strength in. But in order for people to feel that the space is there, for they to really contribute, they also have to trust us. And trust isn't born overnight. Trust is created through connection. It's also created in having conflict and being able to remedy the conflict and be able to still say I love you. So the human dynamic takes a lot of time. There are times people ask me if I think that the rest of society should live in the way that we live, a lot of collaboration, kind of taking community and centralizing it and almost creating like a family beyond your own family. And in answering that question, I would have to say there are certain elements that I feel would be easily digestible with the rest of the community, or like with the rest of the world. Primarily, our commitment to wellness. Every person that lives in this community is very innovative. We have contractors, welders, realtors, brokers, land developers. We've got a fireman. When you go like day to day, kind of like you would think they're kind of part of the rat race, but they live here and we live alternatively. And my point being, as an entrepreneur, as a business person, we have tendency to kind of live life and like go, 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 go. And we get into this rhythm of whether we like it or not, wake up in the morning, eat, get our kids off to school, get to work, come home, make dinner, do the homework with the kids, go down, and we get into this cycle. In our community, we have made a valuable commitment to kind of slowing things down and encouraging that if you have even this small space to do wellness for yourself, whether it is meditation, journaling, yoga, the men or the women's circles, that those are just as important to continue to fuel our lives so that we have the energy and the wherewithal to continue to go out there in the world and do really amazing things. I feel that the mainstream workplace would really benefit and also would probably be more profitable if they did incorporate this element that's here. For people who I find are asking, there's got to be something more to life. There has to be something where, there's this level of fulfillment. I have found it in living in community, but that's not to say that everybody needs to go out and find land and needs to set up camp. I recommend for people that are living in the urban areas to see how is it that you can build community where it is that you are. Maybe it's as simple as making a map saying, what do you do well? And documenting, oh, here's the plumber, or here's the electrician, or here's, so-and-so, so that you have a better understanding of what resources are actively around you that you can, call on if need be. And with that said, if it is that a person is going to look at getting land, do us all a favor, buy land that needs your blessing and needs your grace. We can go out and, I want to be next to this beautiful waterfall, and there we go again, putting our footprint where there's already a natural ecosystem living. I really encourage people to go find that hole in the wall, and ask yourself, how is it that I can leave this place better than I found it? And I think that the inner city is ripe for that action. We've got so many different properties that maybe are not being utilized, and to come in and not tell your city, council, we need this and you're gonna, but really put your brilliance together and really create a proposal that not only benefits your vision, but maybe it builds jobs. Maybe it provides a resource for kids that are coming out of school. Art and music are supported when maybe your local school system dropped the program. Got all these musicians that aren't working right now. They can go and teach children, or maybe the senior center can come in. And I really think that for me, that's the first step of the urban environment, is how is it that we can create community wherever it is that we are.